Welcome back. This is Frank DiMora, connecting the dots between Bible prophecy and current events as I usually do. Today is May 6th, 2022. You're looking at my prophecy site, one of them, BibleProphecyMan.com, where you can get my documentary for free by going over to my website and clicking to the link right here, and the documentary will show up depending on the speed of your computer. The last few days I have given you warnings about what to look for concerning East Jerusalem, specifically the Temple Mount area, where the Muslims have been trying to keep the Israelis off of that holy ground. And May 3rd, May 4th, and May 5th, I put up this warning, and I put it up again today on May 6th. And in my warning that I gave, when you take a look at it, for example, in May 3rd, look at the red, I highlighted this. It says, you're going to hear many leaders say the status quo on the Temple Mount is not going to change. Expect something major to occur that will change the status quo very quickly. So in my warning, I issued that warning because of what Jesus has said about building the third temple and how the Jews are going to sacrifice. So that means that the Jews, even though they've been kept off the Temple Mount area as much as they have, they've made a lot of progress of having Jews be able to go up to that Temple Mount area in the last few years. Now in the news, you're going to see, for example, on Israel's Independence Day, this came out on the 5th, by the way, lawmaker calls to build third temple. That's right, that's what he was saying. Look at this. I will act to ensure that Israeli control returns to Jerusalem and to the Temple Mount specifically. So you have a lawmaker doing exactly what I said you should be looking for, because there is going to be a series of events that will culminate in the Jews being able to have that full access to the Temple Mount. It has to be that way, and the reason why is because this is what the Lord showed us. So in the coming months, look for more news about the Jews pushing full access to the Temple Mount and rebuilding of their temple. Now when you look at what Paul wrote to us in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4, he is talking about the Antichrist man who is going to come, and he's going to sit in the third temple that is going to be built on the Temple Mount, and he is going to go into this temple and he is going to tell the world that he's God. This prophecy hasn't been fulfilled yet, but what we're seeing in the news is the footsteps leading to the building of that temple, which means, again, the Israelis will have full access on that Temple Mount. It's going to happen. Now, we have seen all kinds of news just prop up. Here's another one. Bennett vows campaign of murder against the Jews will never break our spirit. And the reason why they're still rioting is because the issue of the Temple Mount. It's continuous. And this is one of the reasons why I put up the prophecy of Zechariah, because Zechariah tells us that Jerusalem was going to be a major focal point in the last days. And it was going to be a burdensome stone for obviously a lot of people. Zechariah 12:3 says, and in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. So one of the major focal points of the last days is what happens in East Jerusalem on this Temple Mount area. Now, as I said, there's been a lot of rioting, a lot of killing over the Temple Mount. And these are some of the articles that I just pulled up today. So here is another one, and this article, you'll see it says, at annual Quads Day, Iran and its terror proxies call for jihad against Israel, and this came out yesterday. So why is this so important? Well, when you look at the article, and I just put up a little glimpse of this article, here's the link. When you go over to my site, you could read the entire article. But when you look at this, you'll see the players that are in this article. Iran is mentioned where? Right there. And this is the Ezekiel 38 and 39 war from the Old Testament. Iran in the Old Testament was Persia, but we know it as Iran today. And they're part of a group of nations, as you see here from Ezekiel 38 and 39. I'm not going to put up both those complete chapters. You could read it for yourself. But just know this. The Lord told us Iran was going to unite itself with all these other nations that you see listed here to attack Israel in the last days. And this is why you're seeing news like this with Iran leading the way, calling for the destruction of the nation Israel. Now, who are they proxies, as this article talks about? Look at this. Hezbollah, Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad. So you have three of the players right here that are listed in the Psalm 83 war. You see that the Hezbollah here, which is attached to southern Lebanon, or Lebanese if you will. You have the Hamas in the Gaza Strip, which is currently causing a lot of problems between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And of course, you have the Palestinians that are all mentioned in this Psalm 83 list of people who are going to be coming against Israel. And I personally believe that the target is set, this attack against Israel, because the Temple Mount area where this third temple will be built. Now moving on to another prophecy. You can read this prophecy, stop the screen if you'd like, but I'm just going to tell you that according to what we know in other places, not just here, but in the last days, there's going to be intense heat that's going to be pouring down on this earth, scorching the earth. And of course, what does that mean? Well, it means drought, it means destroying of crops, it means havoc, definitely major havoc during the tribulation period. But we're in the birth pangs right now. Things are getting worse, and they will be the worst during the tribulation period. But here's another report, May 5th, about water running out in California. Look at this with the headline, "With water running out, California faces grim summer of dangerous heat, extreme drought. Signs that the Lord revealed to us in the last days." And of course, go over to my site. You'll be able to read all about it. And there's the link. Now, we've seen major storms year in and year out. And here's the prophecy. One of the signs that we're supposed to see taking place all together, which we are. And a major damage after tornadoes ripped through parts of Oklahoma and Texas. This was yesterday. Heavy rains and floods in Afghanistan killed 22, destroy hundreds of homes. And then finally, you'll see a report, a news report, a video that I put up at my site, where hundreds, 200 birds found dead because of the bird flu. And if you know anything about the Bible in the last days, we know that the beasts of the fields, the fowls of heaven, which are the birds, the fish of the sea, shall be taken away. In my book, I have a list of these major events that are killing birds, animals, and fish in the last days. Mass die-offs. You'll see all of this information in my book that you can get absolutely free by going over to my site, as I said before, and clicking this link. Here's the bottom line. We're seeing all of the events that Jesus told us to look for in Matthew chapter 24. He told us all these things were going to happen in one generation. And he said, when you shall see all these things, know that it's near, even at the door. So since we're seeing all of these things, we know that it is definitely near at the door. He also said, when you see these things, look up because your redemption draws nigh. Folks, please, look up because Jesus Christ is coming sooner than most people think. I feel sorry for the people who reject these messages, reject Jesus Christ, because he's trying to get your attention, showing us that his words are coming to pass and what he stated about the future is actually taking place. And this would encourage you to know that only a real God can do such things. This is Frank DiMora. Please, if you'd like, leave your comments at my email address you see right there. If you want to ask questions, I'll do my best to answer those, and I'll place the answers at my website. God bless.